You, like many others, probably think Lucifer is the devil's real name, right? That is the name he was called before he was disgraced and kicked out of heaven. But what if I told you that most modern scholars agree Lucifer isn't a name at all? It's actually one of the biggest mistranslations in history. In fact, in the entire Bible, the word Lucifer appears only once, in Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. And here's the real shocker. It was never even meant to be about Satan. So, where did this all go wrong? Well, the story starts with the original Hebrew text of the Bible. The phrase used in Isaiah wasn't Lucifer, it was Heylel Ben Shachar. This literally translates to Shining One, Son of the Dawn. It was a beautiful, poetic metaphor for the planet Venus, the morning star, which shines brightly just before sunrise and then disappears. Fast forward to the 4th century, a scholar named Saint Jerome was translating the Bible into Latin. When he got to that verse, he needed a Latin word for morning star. The word he chose was Lucifer, which comes from lux, meaning light, and fair, meaning to bring. So, Lucifer just meant light bringer. It was a simple description, not a proper name. The real turning point came much later, in 1611, with the King James Version of the Bible. The translators decided to keep the Latin word Lucifer but capitalized it, turning a common noun into the legendary name of a villain. So if Isaiah wasn't talking about the devil, who was he talking to? The Bible actually tells us quite clearly. The entire Isaiah chapter 14 is introduced as a taunt against the king of Babylon. The prophet was using this powerful imagery to mock the king's arrogance. The king thought he was as brilliant as the morning star, but Isaiah was warning him that his reign would come to an end. Just as the morning star vanishes when the sun rises, the king would fall when the true light, God, appeared. It was a political statement, not a theological one about a fallen angel. So how did this all get connected to Satan? Well, over many centuries, theologians and writers began to link this fall from heaven imagery with other biblical passages, like when Jesus mentions seeing Satan fall like lightning from heaven in the Gospel of Luke. Epic poems like John Milton's Paradise Lost really cemented this idea in popular culture. Milton gave the fallen angel the name Lucifer, and the story stuck. By the time we got to the modern era, the name Lucifer and the title Satan, which just means the accuser, were permanently fused together in our collective imagination. That's why today, most modern Bible translations have actually removed the name Lucifer and correctly replaced it with morning star or day star. It just goes to show you how a single word, translated and reinterpreted over thousands of years, can literally change history. If you enjoyed this exploration, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more stories behind the history you thought you knew.